Good afternoon, friends. I am Professor Shivayogi Patil, working as Assistant Professor in Tontadara Engineering College, Gadag. Today I am here with a webinar titled Why Engineering? I already done such a webinar in the month of March, probably March 21st or 23rd of March. Uh, why engineering is still most in demand branch or career option for the PU students after PU students. So today also I am representing it with some more additions. Why engineering? So this webinar is primarily aimed at PU2 students. Of course, they have not completed their examination. Last one paper, I think it is an English paper that is still to be completed. But still, what I have observed is every year the PU students, especially second PU students, will be in a dilemma which course to choose or which stream to choose to continue their higher studies, that is, degree. So, normally they yield to their parental pressure, some may yield to their uh, peer pressure. So, whatever may be the parental pressure or whatever may be the peer pressure, today I am just here to stress out that engineering is a best option for you. Engineering is a best option for you for PUC science second year students who are just about to complete their course. Uh, okay, I'm not a career counselor, so I'm not here to give all the choices that are available to you. Well, of course, I will tell you some of the choices, and I'm not here to degrade any other courses or any other branches or any other streams, so any other career options. So I am just trying to stress out why engineering is the best option. I'm frankly speaking, I don't want to degrade. I have respect for all the branches. All the branches are good in that sense. So and I respect your parental pressure. I respect your peer pressure, parental opinions, your friends' opinions, and all. But still, today I'm trying to convince you that why engineering is the most important and most in demand and most satisfactory and best career option you can choose after PUC2. Now, before going further, let us define what is engineering. Then you can understand why engineering is most important. Because without engineering, this word becomes very uncomfortable for the human being. So you can see that without you can very well say that without engineering you cannot survive. You cannot survive in this world. Everything nowadays depends upon engineering, whatever the branch may be. So, engineering is that branch of science which deals with creating something, manufacturing something, or constructing something, or producing something which is useful for the society. So, as an engineer, you are going to produce, you are going to manufacture, you are going to develop something, a product. So, which is useful to the mankind, useful to the society, useful to the nation. So the definition of engineering itself is so much encouraging to choose the option because you are giving service to the mankind. Engineering involve both service also as well as the production or manufacturing or developing whatever you say. So that is called as engineering. So actually, engineering is derived from science itself. So the basic difference between our engineer is actually another face of scientist, I can say. Another face of scientist. Okay, let us see what is the difference between a scientist and an engineer. A scientist actually create an idea in his mind. He gets, or sometimes an idea may flash. So normally there is a proverb in English, uh, necessity is the mother of all inventions. Necessity is the mother of all inventions. So actually a scientist takes up a challenge of providing solution to some problem. So he thinks about it, how to solve that problem, and some idea may flash in him, and he will conceptualize that idea. He will put logical, theoretical, mathematical things to it, and he will prepare a conceptual design. And at the most he may prepare a prototype of the conceptual design, and he may test it, and once he is satisfied with the performance of that conceptual design, so he may record it and document. What I mean is, he may document it. So there the work of the scientist, most of the scientist, stops. Then the work of the engineers starts. So engineer takes that idea, take that concept, take that documentation, and build something or construct something or produce something with that. So what that scientist has been intended, which is useful for the mankind, useful for the society, useful for the nation. So actually speaking, engineering and scientist are the two faces of the same coin. What I believe, it is the two faces of the same coin. Only thing is, scientist normally stops at conceptual form, whereas engineer put that into action, put that into put that into application. Then he test, then innovate it, and he remodel it and put that into use. So that's how an engineer works. So for becoming a scientist, again, you can go for BSc and you can become a scientist. There is no problem with it. I respect scientists also. But if you don't have an idea of becoming a scientist, then engineering is the best choice. And engineering is the most highly paid job in this world. Believe me, it is the most highly paid job after, of course, or comparable to the management gurus, what you can say. So the graduates of IIMs and all those things. So they may be having a better package than Indian engineers because they are directly into sales and marketing. So in promotion and all those things. But that job doesn't suit everyone because you need to have a lot of qualities like leadership qualities, communication skills, building rapport with customers. So n number of qualities you needed to become successful in marketing. So IIM or the management career as a career is not everybody's cup of tea. But engineering, anybody can do. Of course, during engineering, you may acquire a lot of these qualities, what I have just told you now. So there are many other branches like BCom, agriculture, then there is medical. It is ultimate, but medical right now at this moment, very what you call it as a very meritorious students only get the seat in medical, or at least you should be ready to shell out crores of rupees to get even the management seats. So that is out of reach of common man. So here I am taking this webinar for common men, common students of middle class background. So that is what I am trying to tell you. So medical is out of question. Now I will tell you the difference between what is an engineering and agriculture science, engineering and BCom and all those things, engineering and BSc also. Of course, if you want to become a scientist, you can definitely become a scientist, because scientists and engineers are the two faces of a same coin. But the field of engineering is more interesting because you are actually putting the concept designed by the scientist into application. You are actually manufacturing it and putting it into use. So that is what is most important. Now, second most important thing about the engineering is it is most satisfying job, because here you are going to provide a solution to some of the problems faced by the society, or some of the things society lacks, or some of the improvisations that need. So for many things that society or mankind uses, so you are going to provide solutions. Now I will ask you a question. So what is your life without gadgets? Now I'm not talking about all gadgets. I will give a list of simple gadgets. So a mobile, a PC, a light bulb, a fan, an AC, a fridge, a geyser, a washing machine, an electric iron, a TV, a vehicle, a house. I will read it again. A mobile, a PC, light bulbs, fans, AC, fridge, geyser, washing machine, electric iron, TV, vehicles, house. So I think most of the people have all these things. Now imagine a life without this. So you cannot spend even 1 year without some of these or combination of some of these. And now the mobile has become an integral part of our life. Even PC has become an integral part of our life. Light bulbs and fans, so they are also AC may be right now for a few people maybe a luxury. Fridge may also be a luxury, but it is also becoming a common. What I wanted to say is, you cannot live without gadgets. The world depends upon engineering, because the world needs gadgets. That is what I wanted to stress upon. So all these things are what you call developed by so-called engineers. Okay, the idea, conceptual design may be by scientists, or some of them are purely developed by engineers also. So for example, light bulb conceptual design was by Albert Einstein. He tested the first bulb and made it successful. But later, whatever the innovations the electrical bulb has undergone, so whatever changes have undergone, whatever developments that have been undergone in the electrical field, electrical bulbs, so that is all due to the electrical engineers. So even mobiles are developed by engineers, PCs are developed by engineers. So fans, everything are developed by engineers. Now I wanted to tell you something here. So every person who has an innovative idea and capability and creativity to create something can be called as an engineer. He need not have a degree also, because nowadays few uneducated people also, they are so talented that they will create something, a small motor or small thing which is useful for their day-to-day life. They are not engineering graduates, but basically they have that acumen of engineer. So therefore they will be able to do such things. Therefore they can also be called as an engineer. So engineer is not okay. Engineering is a career, of course, but even they can be called as an engineer. And if they pursue their career in engineering, they will be able to achieve more things in life. That is what I wanted to say. Now, can our country develop without these things? I will give you a list. So any country can be called as a developed country only if it has following things. One is civil engineering infrastructure, second electrical infrastructure, automobiles, machines, electronic products, aeronautical infrastructure, space organization, medical infrastructure, agricultural infrastructure, educational infrastructure, transportation infrastructure, commerce infrastructure, IT infrastructure, environmental infrastructure or engineering, nuclear power plants. So this is just a list. I will repeat it again: civil infrastructure, electrical infrastructure, automobile and machines, electronic gadgets, aeronautical infrastructure, space organization, medical infrastructure, agriculture infrastructure, education infrastructure, transportation infrastructure, commerce, infrastructure, IT infrastructure, environmental engineering, and nuclear power plants. Now, you know all about these things. Most of you know all about these things. So, no country can be called as a developed country without these infrastructures. So, civil engineering infrastructures, all the buildings, skyscrapers, shopping malls, bridges, dams, canals, irrigation infrastructures. So, there are transportation infrastructures, roads, bridges, roads, railways. So, all this comes under civil infrastructure. So, civil engineering can be called as the mother of all engineering, because without civil engineering, no other engineering can survive. So it is not. It doesn't mean that other engineering branches are inferior, but civil engineering is called as the mother of all other engineering branches. Now coming to electrical infrastructure. So can we survive without that? So you all know what are the electrical infrastructure. Automobiles. Can we survive without automobiles and vehicles? Not at all. Electronic products. Our budget mobile is an electronic product. Our PC is an electronic product. Aeronautical infrastructure, very very essential today for any developed country, developed city, developed town. Also, aeronautical infrastructure is very very important. Space organization, very very important. So we are leading in space organization as far as India is concerned. Now medical infrastructure here comes the interesting things. Okay, so you may have dream of becoming a doctor, but since you cannot say you could not get the seat as a doctor, so even becoming an engineer also, you can serve medical field by becoming a medical engineering infrastructure by building. So all the gadgets that medical staff uses in the hospitals, that are devised, designed, and manufactured by engineers. So medical infrastructure is also, you are serving the health industry also as an engineer. Now agriculture infrastructure, again I am coming to, I will remind you that see, agriculture is a separate branch which deals with the agricultural field, how the crops can be crop production can be increased. So what are the researches and all those things? Lot of researches are going on in agriculture, but unfortunately I don't know how much what we call upgradation of knowledge, upgradation of things has happened in the agricultural field. But as far as the researches thesis are concerned, I don't see those researches put into application in the agricultural field, because if they are being put into application, then our agriculture in India had not been lagging like this. The farmers would not have been in the state of suiciding or something like that. So what I mean to say is, so whatever the knowledge the agricultural scientists have, it has become as a bookish knowledge. Whatever the research papers, thesis they document, so they are just being stored in the library or in the storage, in the cold storage. So that is not being implemented because I don't know the actual reasons, but they are not being implemented in the field. So otherwise our agriculture would have been most advanced agriculture in the world. Now coming to educational infrastructure, very very important, from school, colleges, technical education. For every education you need infrastructure. Again, it will be part of it will be taken by civil engineers, and the rest of the things will be by other engineers. Then transportation infrastructure, most backbone of any country's development is the transportation infrastructure. Roads, railways, bridges, this all comes under the transportation infrastructure, and that will be handled by, maintained by, and even what you call renovated by engineers only. Commerce infrastructure, so I need not to say. So all the commercial shopping complexes, So then whatever the electronic gadget they use, whatever the computer software they use, so for billing and all. So today totally commerce, and they are in the internet also. E-commerce sites are there, websites are there, online stores are there. Totally now commerce infrastructure is dependent on engineers for their survival. IT infrastructure, you already know. We are actually leading the world in IT infrastructure as well as IT. That is what you call it as information technology or software development field. We are leading from first few decades, and we have some of the best IT companies located in India, both multinational companies as well as pure Indian companies. So I need not to tell you much about the IT infrastructure, and most importantly, today IT field is much in demand than any other field. Today, as of now, it is much in demand. Of course, it will remain in demand, and they will get best packages also. Environmental engineering, I need not to say, environmental engineering provides all the things to protect the environment, as well as our health also. Public health engineering also comes under environmental engineering, because the water we drink need to be tested. So the waste materials, without what we produce, what our industries produce, so all the waste materials has to be scientifically disposed. So there are a lot of things where there are environmental protection things that will be taken care by environmental engineering. And lastly, nuclear power plants. So I might have forgotten a lot of things, but these are the major things. So space organization, nuclear power plants, they are the, what you call it as, they make the country superpower, both space organization as well as nuclear power plant. So if your country is good in space organizations, so, and if your country has a nuclear power, then you can be called as the superpower in this world. So this is how engineering becomes evergreen branch. What I mean to say is, evergreen branch or evergreen stream you can study without any chance of getting obsolete. There is nothing, these branch cannot become obsolete. It will be evergreen. So again, moving to the next slide. Okay, these are all about what an engineer can do, how engineering is important for our day-to-day life, how engineering is important for our development of our society, how engineering is important for the development of nation, how the prosperity of nation is measured by its engineering infrastructure and all those things. Apart from this, what other things you will get from engineering as a career? Let us see it. First thing is job satisfaction. So job satisfaction means, of course, if you go to administrative services also, there is a kind of job satisfaction because you are serving the society. But here job satisfaction means engineers are directly responsible for identifying some problems faced by the society and providing solution, designing the solution, analyzing the problem, designing the solution, developing it, putting it into application. So all these things are carried out by engineers. So you are providing solution to some of the problems which you take it as challenges faced by the society. So that job satisfaction will always be there with you. So if you become an engineer, whatever the stream may be, so you will have a job satisfaction. Second is, there will be variety of career options. There are variety of career options. As I said earlier, engineers can work in medical field, agricultural field. So any field which is non-related to engineering also, so they can work there. There are n number of career options are available for an engineer. Similarly, work, challenging work. So some people actually need challenging work, or they like challenging work, they love challenging work. So if you are one of them, then engineering is the right branch for you, because it tests your creativity, it tests your innovation capacity, and it tests how you are going to take the problem as a challenge and try to find the solution to it. So it is a challenging work. Then intellectual development. So intellectual development means, so as an engineer you need to upgrade your knowledge time to time. You cannot stop after engineering graduation. You have to keep on upgrading your knowledge, either through book or internet or any other sources that is available. So you will always be gaining knowledge, upgrading your knowledge, so your intellectual capacity will expand. Your intellectual capacity will expand. That can be called as intellectual development. So with experience of 15 to 20 years, you can be called as one of the intellectual person. So the country can have, for example, like our Kiran Kumar sir, or C.V. Raman, or Dr. Abdul Kalam. So they can be called as the intellectually developed persons. Even our Narayan Murthy, Nandan Nenekale. So they are the example of intellectual development. Similarly, potential to benefit society. Okay, I have already covered it. Financial security, that is salary package. So engineering field offers one of the best salary packages. Apart from, of course, marketing field, the salary packages are compared to best in the industry, even better than the administrative services, for which you have to clear IAS and IPS exams to join. So they will offer best. Of course, when there is a recession, there may be the salary package may come down, but it happens to every field. So therefore, comparatively, engineering field offers the best salary package. So there will be financial security. And another most important thing is, even if you lose your job, or even if you don't want to get into a job, don't want to work under somebody else, you want to be your own boss, then you can be an entrepreneur. So as an entrepreneur, it offers n number of opportunities. Engineering offers n number of opportunities. And my dear friends, today it is the dire need of the country for entrepreneurship, because government is unable to, because of our vast population, government is unable to provide job. Even the private sector, government sector cannot be able to provide the job to everyone. Therefore, they are giving much scope for entrepreneurship. So entrepreneurship is again a very interesting and challenging topic. And if you are an entrepreneur, and if you are good at your entrepreneurship, business acumen, then sky is the limit for your growth. So that is what I wanted to stress it. Then prestige, of course, after doctors, scientists, so an engineer will have the same prestige. So you will have a prestigious position as an engineer. Professional environment, so you will be called as a professional. In case of, if you are an engineering graduate, you are working in a corporate, or you are working in any other company, you will be called as a professional, because engineering courses are called as professional courses. So you are working in under a professional environment. Then there will be there is a chance for technological and scientific discovery. You need not to depend upon the scientist for any discovery. So if you have ideas, if you are creative enough, if you have innovative ideas, you can have a discovery by yourself. You can discover something by yourself. So there is a scope for technological and scientific discovery. Then it will what you call it as, it will enhance your creative thinking, because it will provide a lot of challenges. Engineering field provides a lot of challenges, and you are sportive enough to accept those challenges, then definitely it will enhance your creative thinking. So that is the most important thing. And lastly, Of course, some people may dream of going for other jobs like administrative jobs, which also offer lucrative career options. So you can go for them even after engineering also, because you can attend exam of KPSC, UPSC, IPS, IAS, whatever public service, union public service, or state public service competitive exams, whatever they are, they will be there. You can also, after the graduation, you can also attend them, and if you score high, you can go them. You can go there. In fact, number of engineers which are succeeding in such administrative exams and become administrators is increasing day by day. This is because in engineering there is a lot of development in you, like there will be aptitude development, soft skill development, then communication development, because in 4 years of engineering graduation you will be undergone soft skill training where your communication skill, public speaking skills and all will be improved, and you will be a good administrative also, good administrator also. An engineer can be a good administrator also. Therefore, engineering graduate will become a much better administrative officer, whether it is IAS or IPS. So he will become much better administrative officer. So they can go further. So what I mean to say here is, engineering provides you n number of career options. If you want to serve farmers, there is the agriculture engineering field. If you want to serve healthcare workers, there is a medical engineering field. So if you want to serve the nation, there is a aeronautical engineering field, there is a marine engineering field. So there is a civil engineering is the ultimate branch, mechanical engineering serves everyone, IT infrastructure serves everyone, transportation infrastructure serves everyone. Just think of all these things before choosing a career option, and you will realize that engineering is the best career option you can choose. So there are again, coming to the present situation, from last 3-4 years, there is a negative canvassing, or there is a negative what you call I will call it as canvassing happening by media, as well as some of the peoples also, want knowingly or unknowingly, they are saying that engineering is losing demand, blah blah blah, etc. So the problem here is, there are n number of engineering colleges are there, around 2 to 225 engineering colleges there in Karnataka itself. So there will be around 15 lakh